Beckie Senior.
So I'm here to talk to you about my nemesis. So quite a lot of people have a nemesis. Some people it might be their weight. For Harry Potter, obviously you had Voldemort, and with the Death Star you've got Darth Vader and everything. My particular nemesis, which I hate with a passion, is Comic Sans. It is the single worst thing that I think that's been inflicted on humanity in recent times, and should be banned. It was created in 1994 by somebody at Microsoft who thought it'd be a great thing to put into spreadsheets, and then stayed on every computer of theirs ever since. So I just don't think that you would trust any of these global brands if they used Comic Sans. So you'd never buy an Apple product ever again, or no, I wouldn't, if they started using Comic Sans in their logos. It just devalues everything. So people use Comic Sans for completely inappropriate things. This is on a power substation somewhere, helpfully in a very, very happy way, telling people do not go and get yourself killed. It's just not appropriate to be used. You need to think before you type. Equally, Big Brother might be watching you, but because it's done in Comic Sans and in a friendly, happy way, it doesn't matter that we're violating your privacy. It's in a polite, lovely way. It's also used quite a lot in education and in museums and things, and it's just really, really patronising. This is in a museum gift shop, and because they're using Comic Sans, it's nicely not no food and drink is allowed in their gift shop. It's, said in a really nice and conducive way, but it's just dreadful and horrible, and you will start spotting it everywhere you go. It also makes you more benevolent if you use Comic Sans. So this is in Asda, when you get your little token and you go and put it in the different charities, but it just winds me up, and you do see it absolutely everywhere. I think I've seen it about 3 times today. It just winds you up. This is in a museum in Kendal, and this poor little hedgehog is exactly how I feel when I see things in Comic Sans. And again, this is used for education, so it's used not to patronise kids, but to speak them in a kind and nice way that they can read and understand. Ritz have quite a lot of issues in that this is the back of their crackers packet, and they're using Comic Sans. I actually emailed them about this to ask them why, and they replied telling me, thank you for your email about Dairy Lee, and I said, you've got bigger problems to worry about than Dairy Lee. If you'd like to equally email Jonathan at the Carphone Warehouse in York, should you be passing, to ask him why he chose to use Comic Sans for a customer service charter, I did, and I'd like you to as well. So it's just not very appropriate when it's on the high street. Again, CERN, guess what font they used to announce the Higgs boson? Oh yes, you'd think, the world's most educated scientists would be able to actually pick a font that would be appropriate. Nope. So, massive faux pas. This was sent from one of my friends on Twitter. The horrible, horrible, horrible atheists are out to get you, but I think the atheists would have chosen a better font to get their point across. So, all in all, I don't really think that they're proving their point there. So what I would like you all to commit to today is pointing out people who are Comic Sans criminals and rehabilitating them into society, and choosing fonts which are far more appropriate just for daily life, really. There's lots of different options out there, but it's just Comic Sans is used really inappropriately. So somebody, this is quite a famous one, in America has done this one, so saying that it isn't appropriate to be using Comic Sans in the workplace, because it just really isn't. I don't know what it is. So equally, I'd like you all to reiterate this the next time that you see Comic Sans being used in a public forum. And it is exceptionally true that a designer does lose their wings every time Comic Sans is used, because designers go through a lot of hard work and they try and educate people in using correct typography and interesting things. But the saviour of everything is Helvetica. Helvetica was invented in the 1950s in Switzerland, and like the Swiss and Switzerland, it is neutral and beautiful. And it comes in many different varieties, so there's all the different sets there. And it's just exceptionally versatile. It's so freaking cool, it has its own movie. I am not kidding you, there is a Helvetica, the film. If Comic Sans had a film, it would be Dumb and Dumber. It's just dreadful. So do watch that if you get a chance. It's rather fun to see where the font came from. And I think this is the most beautiful thing that anybody could say to you, and it should be on all Valentine's cards everywhere, because it is just true. Helvetica is perfect, it's clean, it's not got a serif, it's very easy to read, and there is no reason that you should use Comic Sans ever again. So please promise to me that, if you ever have to fire anyone, don't use papyrus. If, you're ever getting a vet bill, you wouldn't want that in Curls MT. It's just not appropriate. You need to always think before you choose a font. for what purpose you're going to be using. So I would like you all to commit now that if you ever see any front crimes happening, you'll raise them, you'll bring them up with people, and you'll tell them, please use Helvetica. Thank you.
Beckie Senior, ladies and gentlemen.